He wasn't just an actor, he was a force, explosive, unapologetic. A rebel with a camera in his face and rage in his chest. But behind every meltdown, there was a woman, trying to love him, fix him, or simply survive him. Sean Penn didn't just date beautiful women. He turned love into a battleground, and in the end, the one woman who stood by him the longest walked away without looking back. Sean Penn didn't care about being likable, not in movies, not in interviews, and definitely not in love. He was volatile, magnetic, dangerous in that way that made people lean in. And women did, icons did, models did, and even Oscar winners. But every romance came with a cost. Headlines, violence, regret. He built a reputation as one of the greatest actors of his generation, and one of the most difficult men to love. Still, there was one woman who tried, who stayed when others ran. Who saw the fire and thought she could tame it. But with Sean Penn, love was never just love, it was war. It started with fire. Sean met Madonna in the mid-80s, when both were young, wild, and already famous. Their wedding, on the beach, with helicopters overhead, was pure spectacle. And what followed was even more chaotic. He was arrested for assaulting a photographer. Rumors swirled about violent fights. One report claimed he tied Madonna to a chair and attacked her with a baseball bat during an argument. She later denied the allegations under oath, but the public never forgot. They were toxic, tabloids devoured them, and in 1989, after just 4 years, it ended. But Madonna didn't just leave a marriage, she left a warning. Loving Sean Penn might be dangerous. He didn't deny it, he never apologized publicly, he just moved on. But the pattern was already set. Then came Robin Wright. She wasn't chasing headlines, she was calm, elegant, different. They met just after his divorce from Madonna and instantly locked into a stormy rhythm. It wasn't smooth, nothing with Sean ever was, but it lasted longer than anyone expected. They had 2 children, broke up, got back together, took breaks, married, divorced, and reconciled again. For 20 years, Robin Wright was his anchor. She stuck through cheating rumors, his outbursts, rehab, career dips, and political rants. Hollywood turned its back on him more than once, but Robin didn't. And when he won the Oscar for Mystic River, he thanked her first. They were complicated, but she was the only one who made it work. For a while. Then in 2010, Robin filed for divorce. This time, it was final, no reconciliation, no return. Why did she stay so long? And why, after 2 decades, did she finally walk? Insiders say she was exhausted, she had tried everything. Therapy, distance, space. But loving Sean meant losing yourself. And she wasn't willing to disappear anymore. After Robin, Sean spiraled. There were flings, rumors, models, actresses, and he was linked to Scarlett Johansson. Then Czech model Petra Nemcova. Then, oddly, to Natalie Portman, who later denied anything happened. They didn't last, they weren't meant to. These relationships weren't about healing. They were about distraction. He was running from something. Maybe guilt, maybe loneliness, maybe just the silence Robin left behind. Then came Charlize Theron. And for a moment, it looked like Sean was finally steady. They walked carpets together, smiled, and they looked happy. Charlize even hinted that Sean had redefined love for her. And Sean told reporters he was serious this time. Rumors of engagement followed. Then, nothing. She ghosted him, literally. In later interviews, Charlize said she didn't just vanish, but admitted she cut off all communication without warning. And no one, not even Sean, explained why. What went so wrong so fast? Was it Sean's temper? His intensity? Did Charlize see the same patterns Robin did and choose to run before they consumed her? Whatever the reason, Sean was left in the cold again. And this time, there was no Robin to return to. By the mid-2010s, Sean Penn had all the awards. 2 Oscars, dozens of nominations, and the respect of his peers. But his love life had become a cautionary tale. He didn't just lose partners, he lost public trust. Directors whispered about his anger, co-stars avoided discussing him, and studios stopped calling. He tried to pivot, became a humanitarian, flew into Haiti after the earthquake, launched documentaries, gave fiery speeches. But even that was overshadowed. He secretly met with drug lord El Chapo for an interview, triggering a day investigation and global backlash. The media turned on him, critics called him arrogant, narcissistic, and out of touch. And his films? They tanked. The Gunman, Flag Day, The Professor and the Madman. Projects disappeared, distributors pulled out, his name, once a guarantee, became a gamble. Had Sean Penn become the very thing he fought against? An isolated man, drowning in his own righteousness? Or was this just another performance, rage as a shield, arrogance as armor? Looking back, one woman stands out. Robin Wright. She didn't need him, she had her own career, her own strength. But she chose him again and again. And he let her down again and again. He publicly admitted he never gave her what she deserved. Said he was difficult, selfish, impossible to love. But by then, it was too late. She had already walked away, quietly, with dignity. She raised their children, built her career, became a director and refused to let his chaos define her. Sean Penn? He kept talking, kept fighting, kept burning bridges. But Robin? She simply moved on. And that silence was louder than any scandal. Today, Sean Penn lives in a strange space, respected but avoided, famous but no longer beloved. A man known more for who he lost than what he achieved. He hasn't had a public relationship since Charlize. He rarely appears in blockbuster films. And when he does show up, it's usually in roles that mirror who he's become: grizzled, lonely, complicated. Maybe that's who he always was. So was Sean Penn a victim of his own intensity? Or just a man who mistook pain for passion? Because every woman who tried to love him, left. Madonna walked away, Charlize disappeared, Robin stayed the longest. And when she left, something in him never recovered. He married Madonna at the height of fame and watched it implode. He married Robin Wright and built a family, then destroyed it, piece by piece. He stood beside Charlize Theron and woke up alone. But Sean Penn never chased apologies. Never gave explanations. And maybe that's the story. Because the only thing more dangerous than loving Sean Penn was thinking you could change him. And the one woman who tried? She finally realized she never should have had to. If you love such stories, comment, share, subscribe to our channels that collects pieces of the stories and sticks it to one alluring story that keeps you informed and entertained.